or intertribal conflict, which is what they call it in that language.
It doesn't mean intertribal conflict. It just means tribe.
Which played a key role in the race. Watch.
This video is for the Say Wallahi's.
Yo, that's me. Look, we're wearing the same fucking hoodie as well. Let's go. Alright, the title for this video is A Somali Tribal Feud Confirmed. Dave, alright, I'm gonna try to, you guys can read the title.
What do we get out of it for incubating all of this tribal warfare? What do we get? Well,
by the way, which side is he on? I'm guessing he's a Republican. I'm not really into politics.
Discarded the moment we're not useful to these people. Import the third world, you end up with third world political conventions. Import the third world, you end up with third world politics. That's the way it goes. The law is not evenly applied. That's the point. These left...
Racist win by our Mesha. Bro, is he racist? God damn.
These scumbags are still given a pass. They are still treated with kid gloves. They are still given carte blanche.
Bro, I've only seen the clip, my clip. I don't know in what context he used in, but if he used my clip in a bad context, I'm gonna be pissed. Wallah.
When we talked about the rise of Somali clan warfare in American politics the other day, admittedly, the evidence was mostly anecdotal. There were a few reports and social media posts claiming that thousands of Somalis in Minneapolis had rejected Omar Fateh, the Somali mayoral candidate, because he belonged to the Darud clan.
Bro, you know what's crazy?
You see, according to these social media posts, many Somalis in Minneapolis are members of the rival Hawiye clan, and they'd rather abstain or even vote for Jacob Fry, a white guy, if you can imagine the horror, rather than betray their clan's honor and support Omar Fateh. That's how deep these clan loyalties supposedly go. Now, if all this is true, it's maybe the clearest sign yet, among many, many other clear signs, that all migration from Somalia and similar third world countries needs to be terminated immediately. All of it.
Crazy! Oh my God, he actually... Yeah, you guys were right, man. Damn!
100% of it. And additionally, Somalia's temporary protected status, which has shielded Somalis from deportation for decades, for no discernible reason, must be revoked as well. I mean, whatever your position
on really doesn't like us, yeah? He really doesn't like us.
Immigration policy may be, no reasonable person can seriously suggest that we should import full-on tribal warfare into our streets. But again, it's critically important to determine whether this story is true, whether it's accurate to say that foreign blood feuds are indeed influencing elections in this country, causing civil disturbance and so on. And indeed, just 24 hours later, all doubt has been removed. Ilhan Omar, probably the single most vocal and resentful Somali in all of U.S. politics, because somehow there are a bunch of them, has just delivered a speech in which she attacks Somali voters who did not support Omar Fateh. Specifically, she calls for Somalis who didn't support Omar Fateh, including Somalis who rejected him because of his clan affiliation, to be expelled from the country. She wants the traitorous Somalis in the Hawiye clan to be forcibly removed from Minneapolis as quickly as possible. In other words...
Wait, did she actually say that, though?
In a somewhat unexpected turn of events, Somalis are now the foremost advocates.
Bro, this is why I think if Ilhan Omar stayed away from all of this, none of this would have been... No one would have been talking about this if only Ilhan Omar stayed away from it.
For Somali deportation in this country. Ilhan Omar is to the right of Tom Homan on this one. ICE is saying they want to prioritize the removal of illegal aliens who commit serious crimes. Meanwhile, Ilhan Omar and the Darud clan are essentially out here calling for pre-dawn raids at the local Somali preschool. You know, family separations. And
I actually doubt she wants it though. Maybe they're just... I don't think she actually wants that though.
They'll be front row at the next Trump rally chanting, "Send them back," in a language that nobody can understand. So who said that tribal politics can't be entertaining at least? And we'll play only a small portion of Omar's full remarks as reported by Andy No, since Omar is subtitled because she can't be bothered to speak in English. So if you're listening to the audio podcast, you know, you're not going to be able to make heads or tails of this. But here it is. Watch.
waa qof cadow sare ah dadkaas oo kaleetana magaaladayna nool dhex nool yihiin waan aragnaa anagoo dhan.
Damn, she actually really gave him a bad image here. Miskiin kan waxa waaye miskiin kan ay meesha soo dhex gelisay soo waxa dhan la soconin. She should have just stayed away.
qaar waxaa jiro aan dhahno qofkan wuu iska hadlaa micno ma leh kanina adeerkay waaye bidiis waxa dhihin waxaa laga yaabaa ka fishaabyaalkeen waa taqaaniin dadkan ka hadlaayo starbucks-ka la fadhiistiin masaajidka marmar inuu imaadaana laga yaabaa xafladaha isla tagtiin waa taqaaniin dadkan ka hadlaa anigu guriyaan la deganahay waa aragtiin dadkaas iska qabta meel ma gaareen anaga Soomaali hadii aan nahay inta dadkaas ay nagu dhex jiraan oo aanan dhehaynin qofkaanaytii hana dhaafo
hana dhaafo like she never said deported man ninka warkiisu bedela liqay gelisay ha she actually did bentada maaha laakiin iyadoo ma dhihin hala tarxiila ma dhihin so as ben he is twisting her words she never said deport them back.
Later on in this footage, according to the translation, Ilhan Omar attacks Somalis who translate her speeches into English. She claims those Somalis are misrepresenting her words and trying to get her in trouble or even arrested. Or at least I think that's what Ilhan Omar is saying. Based on the translation that was done by translators she's attacking. For all I know, the translators are messing with her in a very meta way.
Yeah, kind of. I can see why she would be mad. Because there's a lot of ways you can misinterpret it.
That said, Omar has challenged these kinds of translations in the past with little success. As you might remember, about 2 years ago, there was a dispute about what Ilhan Omar said during one of these speeches. Specifically, there was a dispute about whether she really said that she wants to use her position in Congress to advance Somalia's interests. Omar disputed the translation that was making the rounds online, where she said that very explicitly. In response, the Daily Wire commissioned a professional independent translation of Omar's remarks and found that the online translation was mostly accurate. So we'll assume, especially since...
Yes, mostly accurate except the last word. She never talked about deportation or deporting them back or sending them back. She never said that. So 99% of the translation might be accurate. Like in Mesha or work that little like word that they mistranslated it gives it a whole different meaning.
Since Omar's team hasn't pushed back on this latest video in any way,
that doesn't mean deport them back. Daf could just literally mean like leave me alone.
That the remarks are mostly accurate, the translation is mostly accurate. And also, by the way, as I've said many times now, this is one of the reasons why politicians should be banned from addressing crowds in any language but English. We as Americans, she's a congressional representative, we should know what she's saying. And if she comes back later and says the translation wasn't accurate, guess whose fault that is? That's totally...
My translation would have been way better. I translated a lot of things, but my translation is way better than this.
Your fault. Maybe speak in English. So if you speak in a foreign language and you get mistranslated, that's your fault. I got no sympathy for you whatsoever. And it's not our responsibility to spend like days we got to track down we got to go to Somalia, track down a Somali translator.
Me!
Not our responsibility.
Bro, I would 100% translate, bro. 100% accuracy. You can rely on me. You can rely on me, Matt Walsh.
That's on you. Speak in English. This is America. We speak English here. But assuming that all that is accurate, which I think it is, that would mean that indeed all of these TikToks and social media posts coming from Somalis in Minneapolis are accurate as well. Somalis are at each other's throats because of clan warfare to the point that they're influencing elections in this country, as many of these posts are saying. So here's just a few of these examples where various Somalis reference Kabil, or intertribal conflict, which is what they call it in that language.
It doesn't mean intertribal conflict. It just means tribe.
Which played a key role in the race. Watch.
This video is for the Say Wallahis.
Yo, that's me. Look, we're wearing the same fucking hoodie as well. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Hey, mama, we made it, bro. We made it. We're in a Matt Water video. It's actually crazy how I'm wearing the same hoodie, but yeah.
This be a lesson for you. Let the whole Omar situation be a lesson for you. If you want to break the curse from...
I like how he gave me credit for the video as well. I like how he gave me credit. That's nice.
The older generations, then don't spend your time trying to please them. If Omar spent all that time trying to please the Somalis and just spent it on other communities, he could have easily won this. You don't really have to win over the
I disagree with that. Wallahi, even if he like tried to reach out with all community, he still would have lost. I actually believe that now.
Somalis to win anything. If you're running for a mayor, president one day, you don't need to win over the Somalis to win. You're not in Somalia. If you're thinking Ilhan Omar, 200,000 people voted for Ilhan Omar. Do you think all of them were Somalis? Hell no, they weren't.
For damn near every other function, the entire campaign became about Qabil. By no means am I saying Jacob Frau was a terrible candidate. Lakin, you guys had Omar Fateh, who could have been the first Somali mayor.
Somalia will not prosper for the next 10 years because of what just happened in Minneapolis. A young Somali man that goes by the name of Omar Fateh was running for mayor of Minneapolis. He asked for his people to come out and support him, to vote for him, but instead they went and they danced with a white man. I would understand if their policies didn't match. I would understand if he just wasn't the right fit. Maybe he was just too young. But they did it because of tribalism, choosing a name that they've been tied to for the past hundreds of years.
Now, tribal differences are such a major part of life in Minnesota that the state's Department of Health has published guidance on this topic. Quote,
this video should have been in Somali, so stay. Nah, did you not hear what he said? He said, "This is America. Speak Somali." No, the funny thing is, he did kind of lie when he said Somalis in Minneapolis. He included me as part of the Somalis in Minneapolis, which is not accurate.
clans are a very sensitive topic for many Somalis. Enduring tension between rival clans has been a major factor in the ongoing conflict in Somalia. Clinicians should avoid discussing clans with Somali patients, as many may find it disrespectful or offensive. So if you're a doctor, it's apparently dangerous to even broach the topic of a Somali's clan identity.
Yeah.
You know, you might get roughed up, I guess. I don't know. That's how important these affiliations are to these people. I mean, their voting based on is very important to them, but you're not allowed to ask them about it. They come to our country, and this is how they operate, but we're not allowed to ask them. How dare you? How dare you as an American expect them to explain themselves in any way? That's the attitude. Now, to be clear,
they don't want you to ask them about Qabil. It's not to keep it secret. They don't want it because they don't want to give power to it. They don't want to talk about it because they're trying to move on from it. That's why they don't want to talk about it, not to keep it a secret.
it's not just last Tuesday's vote in Minneapolis that was influenced and probably decided by these various clan differences among Somalis. This phenomenon is far more widespread than that. In fact, Somalis have brought their tribal disputes
Sue him and then let's split the profit. I don't think ready.
all the way to Maine, where less than 10,000 Somalis reportedly live. I mean, if there's anywhere in the world you'd think you could go and you wouldn't have to deal with Somali culture, you'd think it'd be Maine, up in the mountains, in the woods. No, they got it up there too. This is an analysis from Steve Robinson, an editor of the Maine Wire, one of the top news outlets in the state. Quote, a Somali source in Maine offers this explainer on the clan dynamics unfolding in Maine/U.S. politics. The Darude clan dominates Somali political representation in Maine, but by population, other clans have massive presence. But for some reason, the Darude love power. People including figures like Ilhan Omar, Deka Dalak, Yusuf. I think these are actual people. Omar.
But I don't know none of these people. Ilhan Omar and the Omar Fateh. These are the only two people that I know. Dalak. There's a nigga called Dalak Bilash on the list. Bismillah.
Fateh, Safia Khalid, Abdullah Ali.
Hey, hold on.
Are just good old-fashioned American names there. Are from the same
Bro,
subclass.
this guy is, low-key racist, bro. What do you mean by that?
Are just good old-fashioned American names there.
Good old-fashioned American names, bro.
Are from the same subclans of Darude, Ogaden, and Majitin. In Somalia, however, the Darude are just one of the four major clans alongside Hawiye, Rahanwin, and Dur. Without
This guy knows more about Kabila than me. That's low-key scary. What the
overall
hell?
dominance.
But anyways,
So this is stuff you got to know now to understand American politics. Now, before we continue with Steve Robinson's post, it probably goes without saying that from the perspective of actual Americans, none of these geographical differences or clan affiliations really matter or should matter. All of these people need to go back to Somalia without exception.
Crazy. Crazy. What do you mean all of them need to go back though? They were born there. They have the same, literally the same right as you. The Omar Fateh guy, bro, has the same equal right as you. He was born there. He's not a fucking immigrant. He didn't, walk into the border. He was born there. He has the same right as you. So I don't get this whole fucking racist thinking of they need to go back there because they have different names. They don't have white sounding names, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't. They're from a different. They have tribes, and they don't have a white sounding name. And yes, because they're not white. The fuck? What kind of logic is that?
The Somali legislators in Maine sound exactly like the Somali legislators in Minnesota. They're all talking about the importance of representing Somalia and not America. Watch.
waxaan kaloo idinkula dardaarmi lahaa insha Allah haddii aynu Soomaalinahay inaynu maaragtay wax wada
Mama Million Mia. She looks like Mama Million, bro. What? Crazy. Mama Million running for a state representative. Crazy.
qabsano dalkii ka fikirno dalkii wax tarno oo maaragtay haddii aynu
Am I done eating? Nah, bro.
dalka dibadiisa aynu joogno ama gudihiisaba aynu mar walba maaragtay aynu ka fikirno sidii aynu dalka horumarintiisa uga fikiri lahayn especially dadkeena jooga maaragtay qurba joogta ah.
So again, if you listen to the audio translation, that is a Maine a state rep in Maine who is saying that Somalis should prioritize their own country, which is Somalia, and they should prioritize developing Somalia. That's her priority as a state representative in the state of Maine. And they want to develop Somalia, not by going back to Somalia where they belong, but by coming here and stealing from us. And
this subtle racism. What do you mean where they belong? They're a U.S. citizen. What do you mean where they belong?
Sending our resources back to their home country. That's what they want to do. It is in every sense a parasitic relationship. These are not people who've come here to help America. They're people who've come here to take the resources and bring it back to their godforsaken, failed state country that they came from. Now, when Americans see clips like this, we don't exactly think of the Hawiye or the Darud clan.
We're cooked if they translate what we say. Yeah. No, not really. I think, bro, the thing is, if you're gonna translate just translate it properly. That's the thing. Don't take things out of context. Just translate it properly.
Plan.
I feel like they just get a bunch of random translators from Fiverr or something. They don't put an actual effort. Or I say, Wallah has translated this. He doesn't even. They don't even really speak Somali. Let me translate it for you, baby. Let me do the translation.
Which, as far as I know, is completely unrelated to the song Sandstorm, but I'm not sure. We just think of Somalis and we want them out of the country. And that's the appropriate response. But as Steve Robinson reports, there's a lot more going on under the hood. Quote, Somali immigrants from these other clans, particularly in Minnesota's large diaspora, have grown resentful of Darud's rising influence in U.S. politics. For instance, when Nasri Warsam, non-Darud, ran for office in Minneapolis back in 2021.
Oh, it look irritating me how you're saying Darud, bro. It's Darud, not Darud. Darud. Rude. Badrudin.
Darud-aligned groups reportedly blocked him and supported an Indian-born woman instead, referring to a non-Somali over someone with preferring a non-Somali over someone with a rival clan.
There's nothing wrong with that, like in Somalia. There's actually nothing wrong with you supporting a Somali just because they're Somali. The same way black people voted for Kamala or Barack Obama. There's nothing wrong with doing that, though. No?
The clan rivalry has led Hawiye, Rahanween, and Dur members, including those from Somaliland, which flies its own flag and seeks independence from Somalia, to back non-Somali candidates. They support Jewish incumbent Jacob Fry for mayor over Somali opponent from a different clan, prioritizing clan loyalty over ethnic or religious solidarity.
So regardless, either way, they're fucked. If they support the Somali guy, then they're being tribalist. So if they support the Adan guy, then they're fucked either way. So I don't get it. Wallahi, I don't get it, man. Either way you lose.
Again, this is American politics now. Just wonderful. What's the downside? I can't see one. Now, not that I doubt Steve Robinson's reporting, but I wanted to look into the case of Nasri Warsaim to see the details of how a non-Darude politician might be shut out by Darude-aligned groups. And just out of a morbid sense of curiosity, I wanted to get a sense of what happened here. And I came across this video, which again is subtitled. This is a former Minneapolis City Council candidate, Nasri Warsaim's version of events, a version of what happened to him. Watch.
dhibaatada ugu weyn oo dadkeena qabaan maanta halkan taagan inay halkan ku soo gaartay kala qaybsanaan dadka in bulshadeena maanta ninka DFL xukumo oo jeerka ah inuu soo baxay oo yiri
No, I need to know more information about this guy. Ninkan yu yahay intuu ku dhashay. Where was he born? Like, is he an immigrant? Was he born there?
la weydiiyay su'aasheed sidee ninkani baan ku saartay oo yiri waxa kala tashtay qabiilo Soomaaliyeed dad wax garada oo Soomaaliya.
I feel like this guy was pushing some sort of agenda, man. I don't know. Wallahi ma ogi wallahi.
oo yiri siyaasiyiinta Soomaalida la doortay Minnesota ayaan kala tashtay.
Also, like how all these Somali politician videos look like they were shot on camcorders in 1993. So they're in this country. They still have not discovered iPhones.
Okay, all right, bro. Okay, at least try. At least try to keep it subtle, bro. What the hell? How is that? That has nothing to do with the topic you're talking about, bro. What is going on? What is going on, bro?
How? Anyway, Nasri Warsaim, the non-Darude, is explaining how Ilhan Omar and her clan blocked him from ever getting the Democrat Party's endorsement. Instead of backing Warsaim, the Democrats...
Look, I feel like Ninkan, the guy lost fair and square, yeah? And he was just trying to look for excuse. And he ended up blaming on tribe, Qabili. He fucked up. I feel like that guy actually lost fair and square. I don't think he would have won. I genuinely don't think he would have won. So he started all of this mess because he just couldn't handle. He just couldn't take the L. So he started all of this mess and it had a fucking snowball effect. Now he's talking about it and I'm reacting to it. And the guy lost the election. The Omar Fateh guy lost the election. But yeah.
It's backed in an ethnically...
I don't think that guy losing has nothing to do with tribalism. He just lost fair and square.
A Pakistani woman named Aisha Chugtai. Quote, "They shouldn't be teaming up to block me from ever getting the party's endorsement simply because I come from Mogadishu," he said.
See, that doesn't really seem logical. I'm from Mogadishu, so I'm not backing him because we're from the same tribe. It just seems, it just seems like an excuse, like being a sour loser. That's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion based on what I'm seeing. That's my opinion. All right.
Apparently, people from Mogadishu belong to a separate clan from the Darude, known as the Hawiye. Now, the official story is that the state Democrat Party, known as the DFL, blocked Warsaim because of an altercation at a political convention and not because of his clan identity. This is from the local Fox affiliate back in 2023. Quote, "The DFL's executive committee voted to approve bylaws banning Warsaim on Tuesday after the organization conducted an investigation into the chaos of the Ward 10 convention that it concluded Warsaim's campaign was responsible for the conflicts that emerged after his supporters rushed toward the stage when incumbent Aisha Chugtai was about to speak."
There you go. And that's why he got and that's why he lost or got kicked out. See? He was just being a sore loser. I'm kidding. Yeah, but yeah, that's why, bro.
And by the way, here's what that confrontation looked like.
Well, the only Adan guy, the only white guy in the video is like, "This is embarrassing. Let's stop this, please. This is embarrassing." The rest of them are like, "Look at her face, bro. Look at her face, bro." She's like, "Yeah, look at her face, bro." She's like, "Fuck yeah, vote for Nasri Warsaim or I'ma kill you." No, that's not what she said. Anyways.
This is what a political convention in Minnesota looks like now.
All right. I'm not going to watch the rest of this video. You guys get the hint of it. Literally thought Omar gag about vile language makes me want to start another crusade. Yo. Why is Omar still there? So many people have come forward saying he's in evidence she's committed immigration fraud. Wait, which Omar though? But he was born there though. That's the thing. He has the same right as you. For you to even suggest you have more right than him, or you're trying to kick him out, it's just you being fucking racist. Some cultures bring nothing to the table, or ever will. See, there's a bunch of racism in the comments, bro. I disagree with this. Like, anyone that generalizes a group of people, that's just wrong. You can't generalize a group of people. That applies to anybody. That applies to Somalis, black, Mexicans, white, any group. You can't just generalize them. Anyways, I'm gonna just leave it here. I don't really want to dive deep into politics and stuff.